So, how does one quiet the mind? So, I get this question: how can we have a quiet mind? How can we have a peaceful mind? And I'm going to share with you my experiences. This is my experience, okay? A short history about my experience with the mind and spirituality, which for I don't like the word spirituality because it signifies a separation between yourself and like it's some magic, but it isn't. So at an early age, as early as 3 or 4, I was meditating. This was back in a time when there was no internet, no TV. We didn't have TV because I grew up in West Africa. Okay, back in those days, it was very simple life. But at the age of 3 and 4, I used to meditate as a Buddhist would, and no one taught me this. It just came naturally. I would meditate. My parents couldn't understand what was going on. They didn't understand the concept of Buddhism or whatever it is. So, but they left me alone, and I meditated as a child. That's how young it was. And I remember immersing myself in silence. I just loved the silence. I was addicted to the silence. Anyways, back to the mind. So, how does one get a quiet mind? Everything you're doing right now, the so-called meditation, is not meditation. It's concentration. Meditation, the true meditation, is a stateless or effortless state. Sorry, effortless state. In this state, you're not thinking. That's meditation. So when you're walking, there's a walker, but no, there's walking, but no walker. When you're talking, there's a talker, but no talker. When you are loving somebody, there's love, but there's no lover. Okay, so that's the major difference. However, most of what we do today, when we are just meditating, sitting down and concentrating, is concentration. You are using the mind to focus, and hopefully, you hit a state of meditation where there's no mind. But for most people, it seems impossible. So, how does the mind get weaker? You can meditate all you want. It can take you decades. You'll be in the cave for 50 years, and then you get a glimmer, maybe a glimmer of hope of the silence. But there's an easier way of doing it. That way is they call it the ant's way. It takes a long time to get there. There's something called the bird's way, and the bird's way, you use intellect to a certain point to understand the mind. And this understanding goes like this: everything that you can experience. This means everything you can see, feel, touch, taste, think of, experience in a dream state, in the astral world, is all an illusion. It's not real. So think of it like this way. God or a divine went to bed. Okay, I'm just using a metaphor so you can see it. And then had a dream and planned on this dream. In this dream, they said, I'll play a trick on myself. I will become individualized. I will create a physical so-called world, and I will live in it, and it'll be so real that it'll be hard to take it on real, and it'll be a trap. And if I can break through that trap, then I'll see myself again. Well, granted, you're always yourself, but what I mean by see yourself, I mean you know who you really are. So that's kind of like the game you're playing. So everybody who says you're an illusion is partially true but partially wrong, because everything's an illusion. So long as you can experience it, it's an illusion. If you go to an astral world, it's an illusion. If you see a deity of your choice, it's an illusion. And in fact, if it's a real deity of your choice, he or she will tell you that you and him or her are illusions only. That's the highest state. That's meditation. Meditation, as far as the physical body is concerned, is a state of no mind. Okay? Your mind is there, but it's weak. It doesn't operate. It operates automatically on its own as it should. And it's very intuitive, and it does everything perfectly. When the ego mind comes in, then imperfection comes in as well. Then you want something, then you say, I am this, I am that, I need this, I need that. But when the mind is not there, everything happens perfectly by divine right. So the way intellectually to understand and weaken the mind is to understand that everything that you experience, without exception, is unreal. In fact, if you understand this word I just said to you carefully, in an instant you can feel an awakening. Very few can do this. I would say 1% will be able to do this. And those are very spiritually very ripe. But those who understand what I'm saying and practice it, when you sit down and you contemplate or concentrate, you concentrate on this. Everything that you experience, everything that you perceive, everything that you can experience, without exception, that means even you, that even your ego I is an illusion, a master illusion. That even if a master were to come to you and tell you directions, he or she is an illusion as well. And a true master will tell you that. There's no such thing as I or you. There's no such thing as an individual ego. It only exists as an illusion. But illusion itself is a false word because it tells you that there's something real and there's something false, when in natural fact, neither of those don't exist. The illusion and the reality don't exist because in reality, there's nothing there to tell you that it's reality. Okay? But that's your true self. So to practice and weaken your mind, sit down and say to yourself, close your eyes. You can focus on the third eye if you want, very powerful. And close your eyes and say, everything that I experience, everything that I perceive, feel, touch, taste, think of, experience is unreal. It's not real. Initially, the mind will start to bother you. It will tell you you're a joker. It will tell you that, look, I can touch this, it's real. And it is real as far as you can, the ego sense is concerned. It is real. Everything you see around you is real as far as 3D reality is concerned. But it's unreal as far as the reality is concerned. Okay? So everything you can perceive of, different astral worlds, the different parts of the universe, they're all unreal and only a projection. Okay? When I say projection, people think of it like a movie and like a Matrix, and it breaks down and the real you appears. No. The real you is stateless. It's a stateless. And what does stateless mean? That means you can't experience it. That's what it means. You cannot, the ego I cannot experience the stateless state. That's why nobody has been able to come back and accurately describe to you what the stateless state is, because there's nothing to describe. And there's no one there to describe anything. So practice. Sit down 10, 15 minutes a day in the morning, very early morning, and before you go to bed. And you'll notice that if you do it religiously and strongly with faith and belief, you will have bursts of silence that cannot be wavered. It's always there. It will never go away, no matter the physical stuff you're going through or mental. That silence will be there. It's unshakable because it's real. Only the real is unshakable. Everything else that can change is not real, which means you, the body, mind changes. It's not real. The unshakable, unbreakable silence is real. You cannot experience it directly, but you can, as far as the ego is concerned, you can feel it, so to speak, which is a wrong word. It's a stateless state, so you can't experience it, period. But I'm trying to use words to describe to you what it is. So sit and meditate 10, 15 minutes every day and focus on contemplate it. Everything I experience, everything I feel is not real as far as the reality is concerned, okay? I'm not saying don't take the 3D world on seriously, because so long as you feel it's real, is real. That's the power of the mind. And if you do what I tell you, you're going to see in time, a little bit of time, the ego gets weaker, and there's moments of bliss. It's not even bliss, because bliss has a plus and a minus. What I'm talking about is a stateless silence, a silence that cannot be described and is unshakable. It's not bliss or joy, because bliss and joy is fleeting. Okay? When there's joy, there's sorrow. What I speak of is kind of in between. It allows the joy and the sorrow to be. Okay? So there's a walker, but there's walking, but no walker. There's talking, but no talker. There's eating, but no eater. I don't know. I know you can understand it, and I don't expect you to understand it. It can only be understood, in quotes, by what I tell you. So I hope this helps you. But using your mind to find your reality is kind of a trick, because it is important.